Hello everyone. Welcome back to Inspirational. Today we are going to listen to a beautiful story about discovering your own strengths and how practice and dedication can lead you to success. Sometimes we compare ourselves with others and feel like we're not good enough. But the truth is, everyone has a unique talent. And in today's story, we'll discover how one boy learned this important lesson from his father. So stay with us till the end. Once upon a time, in a small, peaceful town, there lived a simple family in a quiet corner of the city. In that family, there was a 12-year-old boy named David who studied in the 6th grade. David was an energetic and cheerful kid. He loved spending time outdoors, but his favorite thing in the world was playing soccer. Almost every day after school, David would run to the nearby public field and spend hours practicing soccer with his friends. For David, soccer wasn't just a game, it was his passion. One afternoon after school, something unusual happened. David came home, dropped his bag, and slowly sat on the couch. He opened his math book, looked at it for a few seconds, and then leaned back with a frustrated expression. His father noticed this right away. A Walter Aubert sat beside him and asked gently, "David, what's wrong? You seem upset." David sighed and said, "Dad, I got a bad grade in math today." But after a moment, he added, "That's not the worst part. My friend Matt always gets the highest marks in math. No matter how hard I try, I can't do as well as him." His father listened quietly. Then he gave David a glass of water and said, "Come with me." They walked outside into their small backyard garden. The garden was calm and peaceful, filled with trees and cool shade. David's father looked at him and said, "Today I want to teach you 3 important lessons. Lessons that'll help you for the rest of your life." David looked curious. "What lessons, Dad?" His father smiled and replied, "You'll learn them through small challenges." David nodded. For the first lesson, his father said, "Invite Matt to play soccer with you tomorrow." David didn't fully understand why, but he agreed. The next day after school, David invited Matt to the soccer field. They started playing with a group of friends, and as usual, David played amazingly. He dribbled past players, controlled the ball easily, and scored 3 fantastic goals. His team won the match easily, but Matt struggled. He lost the ball several times and made many mistakes because he rarely played soccer. Still, everyone had fun. Later that evening, David ran home and met his father in the garden. "Dad, I played soccer with Matt today." His father smiled. "How did it go?" David proudly said, "I scored 3 goals, but Matt isn't really good at soccer." His father nodded and said, "That's the first lesson. Matt may not be good at soccer, but he's excellent at math. Just like you may struggle with math, but you're amazing at soccer." He continued, "Everyone has different strengths and talents. We are not meant to be the same." David slowly began to understand, but he quickly asked, "What's the second lesson?" His father replied, "Tomorrow at school, observe Matt carefully. Notice how often he works with numbers." The next day, David watched Matt throughout the school day. He noticed something interesting. Matt was always doing something related to math. He solved puzzles, practiced problems, counted things during recess, and even counted the petals of a flower while sitting outside. That evening, David excitedly told his father everything he saw. His father smiled and said, "That's the second lesson. Matt is good at math because he enjoys it and practices it constantly. If you want to improve at something, you must practice regularly, just like you practice soccer." David nodded. It made sense to him. Then he asked eagerly, "And the third lesson?" His father thought for a moment and asked, "How much better do you think Matt is at math than you?" Davy hesitated and said, "Maybe 3 times better." His father smiled. "Then tomorrow, study math 3 times harder than usual." David felt nervous, but determined. The next day after school, he sat down with his math book. He studied for 1 hour, then pushed himself to study for another hour, and then another. But soon, his head started hurting from the intense focus. Without realizing it, he fell asleep at his desk. Later, his father gently woke him up. "Dinner is ready. Come to the garden afterward." David walked outside, feeling disappointed. "Dad, I'm sorry. I couldn't finish the challenge. I studied a lot, but my head hurt and I fell asleep." His father gently placed his hand on David's head and said, "That's the third lesson. When you try to master something you don't enjoy, discipline becomes very difficult. But when you do something you love, effort feels lighter." He continued, "So if you want to become great at something, you have two choices. Either follow what you truly love, or learn to love what you are studying." David listened carefully. At that moment, he understood his father's wisdom, and he promised himself that he would always remember these 3 lessons. And that's the story for today. Remember, everyone has different talents. Success comes from practice, passion, and the right mindset. Keep learning, keep improving. And, most importantly, never stop believing in yourself. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And subscribe to Inspirevox Dailies for more stories that help you learn English in a fun way. See you in the next story.